What is up, everybody? We are Cinema 3D, and we are currently doing a top 5 extravaganza. On this next episode, we are going to be talking about what our favorite sequels of all time are. So, welcome back to Cinema 3D. I am Sam, alongside John and Justin. Justin and John, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What are your 5 favorite sequels of all time? Yeah, just fire off on them, huh?
So my first one is no.
So we're gonna be
tune in next week.
Tune in next week to find out. Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
Very nice.
So
Bob.
Yeah,
I understood.
Good stuff. So yeah, we are gonna be talking about our 5 favorite sequels. For this list, it can either be a direct follow-up sequel or a follow-up to the film of any kind. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, if you look up the definition of sequel
Mhm.
on Google, it'll say any sequential follow-up film to the original.
Yes.
Which pretty much means any film released after the first film in that franchise is a sequel.
It's a follow-up.
Yeah.
For me personally, to make it more interesting and just to limit myself a little bit, I chose to do only direct follow-ups to the original.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's a trilogy, it's going to be your second entry. If it's even if it's a quadrilogy, it's going second entry.
Yeah.
For anything here represented. So
now,
those are the 5.
If it's Star Wars per se or Jurassic per se, where they have legit separated trilogies,
Yes.
those second films are all eligible.
Everything that's a second chapter is eligible.
For me and Sam, I think John made his list based on the
More definition of it.
the legit definition of it,
Never know.
which is also cool.
You never know.
If you do, that's cool because it's diversity. If not, then we're all on the same page here. So that's cool too.
Either way.
Yeah.
Either way, you win.
Exactly.
Who said that?
I have no
I'm
idea.
gonna guess
Oh.
Michael Keaton.
That was Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn.
Wow.
Either way, you win.
And I remember it. Yep.
So we are kickstarting off, John, with you.
Oh wow. With you first.
Yeah.
That's so special. Here we go.
Your 5th favorite sequel of all time.
My 5th favorite sequel of all time is
This is definitive, by the way.
Yeah, definitive. This is online. This is going online.
This is going to our
Out.
many thousands of followers.
Yep. Out on the web. People are going to know.
Yep.
They're going to be talking about it. I'm going to be talking. Me and Justin are going to be talking about it.
Oh yeah. No. Yep.
The Godfather Part 2.
Ooh,
Wow.
Coming out with a strong entry from John Thomas, considered one of the best films of all time. John, tell us a little bit more about picking this.
Yeah, so a little context for me. I always heard the Godfather and Godfather Part 2 were the best gangster films and one of the best films of all time. And I will admit, me being inexperienced with these films, I was like, come on, are they really the greatest? Are they really amazing? So I was like, they're not. So I always avoided them for a while. Then I finally got to watch them. At least the first 2, a couple of years ago. And I will say that I was wrong. Those 2 films are incredible. One of the best gangster films, if not one of the best gangster films, and one of the best films of all time. And the first one is amazing. The second one, that is how you do a sequel. It is so great. It's so good. It expands on everything that's established in the first film, and it continues the story of the Corleone family and their crime wave, and it's just so much, political intrigue, crime, betrayal, the works, and also is kind of a prequel as well sometimes with certain things in the film, which is great.
Godfather 1?
Yeah.
And it's great. So I will submit and say that now I am a believer in Francis Ford Coppola. I trust. He is amazing. He's a great director. And yeah, Godfather Part 2.
Would you say Which one do you like more? Because I haven't seen either.
Oh man, that's hard. I
That's
think
one of
Godfather.
those entries.
I think Godfather Part 2
Mhm.
is my favorite, but
'Cause I feel like I always see Godfather on all those.
listen,
No,
it
Godfather
is,
Part 2 is often considered just like
is,
The
listen.
Godfather.
The Godfather is amazing. Part 2 just takes it with what's been established it's what a sequel should do.
I actually hear
Um,
more people say Godfather Part 2
Yeah.
as this.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. You've seen the first one,
I've seen almost all of the first one.
Oh, you
and
know
then you've obviously seen the first two.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen any of them.
So we're
Will.
it's a building block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get
None.
there.
1, 2,
None half a one.
half of 1, 2.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I do want to rewatch them though coming up.
Oh,
No, I know,
you
but
got to.
that's one of those films. Multiple of those films that everyone needs to see at least once in their life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Iconic. Yeah.
And from what I saw, I was into it and loved it. And
Oh yeah.
the sad thing came up that took me away from it and never returned somehow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But Godfather Part 2,
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
was a phenomenal first pick. You have
starting off
no
strong.
idea what Godfather Part 2 entails.
Absolutely. Great job explaining why that was your entry in defending a film that
Doesn't really need defending.
doesn't really need defending, but yeah,
Which
kind of does though sometimes.
Kind of.
Kind
just because
I
the
see that.
comparison to the first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the apparent like no appreciation for the third one, which I've heard that some people love it, some people actually hate it.
Yeah.
I am actually looking forward to watching the third one just because of that as well.
Mhm.
Seeing it. Is it really that bad? I don't know. Who knows? But it's gonna be really.
Being way too hard.
But at the same time, though, it'll be really hard to beat the second one.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'll say.
Absolutely. Justin.
Well, I'm definitely fast forwarding way on through the years from John's Godfather Part 2 at my number 5. This is a film I've only seen once.
Wow.
Obviously left a lasting impact on me. The more I think about it, the more it gets better.
Mm.
Visually, absolutely stunning. Acting, top tier. Score, phenomenal. I already said visuals, but I'm going to reiterate it. Visuals are absolutely amazing, crafted to perfection, great direction. The sequel to the, I would say, probably cult classic based on what I know, Blade Runner 2049.
Wow.
Wow.
Holy
Okay.
crap. That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet.
Wow.
it is. It's that the reason why I put it at number 5, because I had like 2 more options I could have put at 5. I put that one because that is the type of movie that when I watched it, I wanted to immediately go and watch the original
Mm-hmm.
because I liked the original but didn't appreciate it as much as I should have until
Mhm.
I saw the sequel. And it was like, holy crap, this without Blade Runner 2049 wouldn't exist.
Mhm.
They work hand in hand perfectly after what, like almost 30 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that is from Ridley Scott straight to Denis Villeneuve,
Great legacy sequel.
legacy sequel. And I love legacies. Well,
Yeah.
when they're good, legacy sequels are going to be on my list. Like
Oh yeah.
like they
Hit or
are
miss though.
they are the most hit and miss movies, but when they're good, they're top contenders for top 50 of all time.
Right, because they're following up normally on a great film of all time. So if you can match it,
Yeah.
there you go.
So that is why I have Blade Runner 2049 as my number 5 pick.
Fantastic. Wow.
2 that you haven't seen.
2 that I've not seen. That's very sad. Here's one that you guys have seen.
Oh.
Yes. All right. Number 5 pick for me is a series that I didn't initially grow up watching, but I was introduced to, and now I'm just complete mega fan of, really appreciating it for what it is, really appreciating it as one of the best fandom series of all time, one of the best, like, the big ones out there, and some of the best superhero films ever made. And this one in particular is one of the best superhero movies ever made, and probably contender for one of the best ensemble superhero films. And that is X2,
Oh,
X-Men United.
Nice.
Wow, I was
Very
thrown
nice.
off 4 times during that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, this feels like the most definitive X-Men movie in a sense, because it really feels like, the first one they're kind of testing the waters with doing an X-Men movie, and this feels like they did an X-Men movie.
Absolutely.
And that's something that's really cool. It just the look of it is incredible. All the characters are great. It just, I mean, that's the best way to describe it, is the definitive X-Men movie.
It's so good.
I feel like I'm in the same spot I was with Begins and The Dark Knight,
Mm-hmm.
because you guys know that as of the last watch, I like X-Men more than X2.
Really?
Yeah. And I
That's crazy.
could not explain to you why. Maybe it's because they focus on Logan more. Logan and like Sabretooth, and it's just like more contained, versus X2 is more bombastical with
That's what's great about it.
Yeah, I know. And that was the same thing I had with Dark Knight and Batman Begins. Batman Begins was more contained.
Mhm.
I could focus on stuff more, but now being super older,
Yeah.
I know the Dark Knight's better.
Mhm.
The opening itself,
Oh,
the White
the
House
opening
scene
is
amazing.
The opening's
Oh yeah, no.
And
White House attack is
That's
so
not
good.
to say that X2 is not good. X2
No.
is absolutely phenomenal.
Mhm.
It's just as of this moment, I think I like X-Men more. I don't know. But I know a huge portion of the world likes X2 more,
Yeah, absolutely.
which is understandable.
Yeah, but I get the charm of X-Men, a smaller type film, more more contained for sure. I think X2 is perfect though. I got nothing. I got not a critique almost. I got one critique for the entire film, and that's for all of X-Men though. That is Wolverine and Jean Grey.
Yes.
Executed horribly.
Yes.
Probably one of the worst romances I've seen in a superhero.
I'll also say that it's not the worst romance, but I think that Jean Grey and Cyclops is
Way more believable.
way more believable, but it's also not explored enough.
Yeah.
So then then for some reason you're gonna really focus on the relationship between Wolverine and Jean Grey, and it doesn't work.
But then the few small moments we have with James Marsden when he's with her.
Yes, it's way more. Yeah, it's genuine.
Yeah, it's genuine. I do also want to add in one thing for mine, and I kind of want to know the answer for both of yours. If it is a direct sequel to an original film, let's state what we felt was the superior.
Oh boy.
Just out of just saying first one or second one,
Mhm.
not counting anything after, just out of the first two. For mine, X2 is superior to X-Men.
Would agree.
Godfather, you already answered that question.
Oh, you're talking about the
Mhm.
favorite picks.
Yeah, so Blade Runner or 2049.
So 2049 versus X2 versus.
No. Just out of Blade Runner in comparison to 2049, what do you prefer? In defense of the sequel.
Controversial opinion. Here you go. Watch.
I don't know. I feel like the film person in me would say 2049, but the superior fan in me would say X2.
No.
I got it wrong again.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're comparing Blade Runner 2049 to Blade Runner. And saying,
Oh,
like
which one's
original-
better?
yeah, do you like
Oh,
the original?
2049.
Okay.
No, yeah. No, and not, it's
why I
not
say
that Blade Runner's
controversial.
bad, but I told you like earlier or something like that, but I just think 2049 took everything that was amazing about
Mhm.
with Blade Runner and just ran with that.
Mhm.
And obviously with today's day and age with current technology, they used it to its perfection, and Blade Runner did a lot of practical stuff, mixing it with stuff,
Yeah.
and it looks
Intense.
so good. But I love the fact that I can love an old movie
Mhm.
and love a new movie in the same franchise.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like that, I would say 2049.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
But then with yours, I would say X-Men right now.
Okay,
And with
yeah, that's
yours,
fine.
I have no clue.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to answer that for each one of the ones that we go
That'd be,
when it comes to like
that'd be
each
cool.
of our own entries.
Yeah,
I
like that. Let's do it.
So we're up back to John.
Back to me.
Back to me.
Number 4 is number 4 for me is a film that I think is another example similar to X-Men and X2, where it just takes what was established in the first film and just completely elevates it to near perfection, and I love this movie. Grew up with it. One of my favorite characters as well. And yeah, it's just, I think, a near perfect movie. That is Spider-Man 2.
Nice. Wow.
You both got it wrong.
No, yeah,
you
no.
both thought you probably. I can tell you both thought like thinking differently.
Yeah.
I for a split second thought The Dark Knight, but then when you said near perfect, I was like, no, it can't be that.
Mhm.
I thought you were gonna have Spider-Man 2 higher.
I thought so too.
So I'm like, what are your top 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Spider-Man 2 is literally amazing.
Mhm.
I love the first Spider-Man, but Spider-Man 2 is Sam Raimi unleashed,
Yeah.
and it's brilliant.
Yeah.
The villain, Doc Ock, played by Alfred Molina, is amazing, iconic.
Mhm.
Everything that, I mean, Peter Parker goes through a lot in this movie, and it's like literally one of the best deconstructions of a character, including a superhero.
Yep.
And he is just a man, and you see him battling that because he does want a simple life, but
Mhm.
you know, he's a hero.
Yeah.
And it's just so brilliant.
Yeah.
So
I
I've
mean-
seen some Doc Ock hate in the past
I
few weeks.
don't understand that, but you know,
Why?
That's got to be top 5 stupidest takes I've ever heard in my
Absolutely.
life, specifically from Spider-Man 2.
it's okay to have.
Oh,
shit
it's a
taste.
guy with 8 arms.
Yeah, it's okay to have shit taste. Then that's just a jab at the character itself. It's like,
Yeah, well,
if you don't like the
that's
character, okay, that's on you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not
But-
our fault.
But Alfred Molina plays Doc Ock so well. Why do you think he was Doc Ock in the newest Spider-Man?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because why would you? I mean, good luck trying to recast.
Hello, Peter.
He literally like
You wouldn't
Except
bring him
for-
back if people didn't love him.
absolutely
He's
same thing with
he's iconic at this point.
same thing with Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin. I mean, he's amazing as Green
Very
Goblin.
iconic. Yeah.
But yeah, Alfred Molina, it's fantastic. But yeah, Spider-Man 2,
Absolutely.
it's just so well done,
Mhm.
and I could literally watch that every year.
Yep. Absolutely. Another great choice.
Man,
That's what I do. So
Godfather Part 2 and Spider-Man 2.
Two of your top contending sequels here. I like that.
Yeah.
Feels clean.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
Yep.
Second films. I'm seeing a pattern.
I'm seeing some second films.
Okay.
What do you got for us? I imagine second film.
It is a second film. This one is the most recent.
Oh,
Okay, don't look. I'm not looking. Okay. The most recent sequel that I have listed on my top 5.
top 5.
When I tell you, I've talked about it before. And I tell you, this is the best sequel of its kind that I've ever seen and witnessed in my life. And I didn't even watch it in theaters. I wish I watched it in theaters because it's that good. It is Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm telling,
Nice.
I almost have no words to describe this movie.
Mhm.
I love Top Gun. We watched it all together. That was
Oh, yeah.
one of the most fun movies we watched.
It,
together.
Yeah, it
it
was.
really was so good.
I watched Top Gun Maverick on a plane
Mhm.
on my phone through Southwest.
ironic.
You know, the Southwest. So it's like 720p.
Yeah,
I adored that movie.
Nice.
Like it is so.
I'm hearing
It
not.
is.
I have not heard a bad review on it.
You have to watch that.
I can't
You-
wait to
you
watch
watched it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, dude.
My,
yeah.
my
I'm
big
telling
screen
you,
booming
like-
video.
I'm trying to compare it to another, original to sequel. Like the only one I can think of right now is Batman to Dark Knight, or Begins to Dark Knight. But it's almost even better than that.
Yeah,
I know Dark Knight's, in my opinion, better than Batman Begins, but like Top Gun is so connected to Top Gun
Mhm.
Maverick. And Tom Cruise and Miles Teller and all the people who were in that movie, Val Kilmer, like it's so good.
It is.
It is so.
Very
It
well
made
done.
me cry.
kind of like Shining and.
Even better than Shining, Doctor Sleep.
Yeah.
Yes, in that same vein,
Mm-hmm.
because this one feels miles more connected.
Mm.
I'm so glad that Top Gun Maverick is getting all the love it deserves.
Yes, absolutely.
Like,
definitely
it-
coming
Everybody loves
yeah.
the sequel.
Mm-hmm.
you need to see it.
Absolutely.
Like it's that's why it's my
I'm adding it on the list.
There you go.
like it off first thoughts could be higher, but no,
Mm.
it's got to be at number 4, right above Blade Runner as far as legacy sequels go.
And what do you like it more between Top Gun and Maverick?
No, 100% Maverick.
Okay.
And it's the same thing as 2049. Like
Yeah.
I love the original, but I think the sequel took the greatest parts of the original and just excelled.
Yeah,
those parts.
it really does. It really did.
2049 and Maverick.
Maverick.
Yeah,
It's so well done.
it's so good.
Sequels are just
Mm-hmm.
Some of like 15% of the legacy sequels are so good, and like the other ones should never have been made.
absolutely.
All right. What is
So
yours?
my number 4 is going to be a movie for a character that I love.
So the narrowed down.
No.
Character that I love. Again, this would be what I would call the definitive film for this character.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. This one has a little bit of a closer battle between its films, as in both films are very high quality. However, this one I think is just a little bit better. I think it goes a little bit deeper, and I think it explores the character a little bit more. The answer is Spider-Man 2.
Nice. That's awesome.
That's what I thought first, and then I thought you were talking about one that I don't want to mention yet.
Mm.
Man, that's interesting. So you said something in there that is strange to hear you say.
What was that?
I think you said they explored the character more.
I think Spider-Man 2 focuses. I think they both explore Peter Parker just fine, but I think Spider-Man 2 is maybe just a little bit more interesting with it.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's what it is too.
No,
Spider-Man
that's
1.
what you said, like Spider-Man 1, and I agree with you, is more, in the best way possible, is more of a TV movie.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man 2 is more of the theatrical.
Just bigger.
It does feel bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's bigger.
Feels. I mean, everything. It just like Spider-Man 1 though, probably one of the best superhero movies ever made.
I would agree.
Spider-Man 2
It gets
a
shown
little bit
for
better
sure.
than that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Definitely in my top. Definitely has to be in one of the top superhero films.
it is. And
It's on a lot of lists.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Top 10.
And there's a good reason for it.
and Definitive Spider-Man.
As far as that, like what he entails and the story,
Mm-hmm.
the homage to the comics, like I think so.
I think so as well. Yeah, it's fantastic.
But each iteration of Spider-Man does have elements and is a great each one is a great interpretation of the character.
Spider-Man's been done well pretty consistently.
It has, yes.
Yeah.
But I think that as far as a classic sense,
Mhm.
I think both of those, both Spider-Man 1 and 2,
Really, yeah.
Raimi's films are the two best.
Yeah.
You can tell that Raimi loves Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So well done.
He loves Spider-Man. He loves representing the villains properly too.
Yeah, he does.
Absolutely. And it's not also a thing of like the villains outshine the character as well.
No.
Like a lot of like even some of the older Batman movies and stuff like
Mhm.
that. Like no, there is equal time for both.
Yeah,
And it's
absolutely. So yeah, moving on. That I like Spider-Man 2 more than 1. If that wasn't clear.
Wait, so your pick and John's pick were the same?
They were
Wow,
before.
Awesome.
Yeah.
you guys hid that really well.
No, I didn't even know.
I'm the loner here.
Okay, so number 3 is also, well, it is a film that definitely elevates the franchise.
Mhm.
Has an amazing villain, amazing film all around, directed by one of the best filmmakers of our time. And yeah, it's also my favorite character of all time as well. It is The Dark Knight. It is obviously phenomenal. We've already talked about it. What's more to be said?
Mhm.
The Dark Knight's amazing. The villain, that is the Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker, is phenomenal. It's just big. It expands upon Batman Begins. It's great. I do think I'd like Batman Begins a little bit more because that is strictly a Batman story. It's Nolan really reinvigorating the character. But holy crap, if this is a sequel and it's like this, that's amazing. A huge achievement, and now definitely has become iconic.
No, yeah.
It's always
The
on
Dark-
those most likely top 5 of any list you look at,
Absolutely.
which is insane.
Yeah.
Comic
Hey.
movie.
Yeah.
But it is. It's fantastic.
It's Michael. It's like Michael Mann's Heat. It's literally
Yeah.
Heat with the Joker and Batman.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's a good chance too if you go on almost any cinema 3D video, somewhere you'll hear the words Dark
Oh,
Knight.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, or,
Or just
something with
Batman.
Batman in general. Yeah. Yep.
It can be talking about like different topic entirely,
Absolutely.
and Bruce will find a way to pop in.
No, yeah.
Mhm.
No.
Yeah.
We could be talking about top 10 favorite animals. My second favorite animal is a penguin.
There you go.
We'd talk about
I like
Batman.
penguins as well.
Don't ask me why. I just love
No,
penguins.
they're cool.
Wow.
Chill.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm glad
I'm glad.
it's at 3. Now I'm like, what is that 2 and 1? I have a skepticism about what 1 is.
Wouldn't you like to know?
I have a feeling what one of them are.
Oh, maybe I know both. I don't know what order.
Yeah, I don't know.
John is like a freaking closed book, bro.
Jack in the Box.
You never know. Call him John in the box.
John in the Box. You gotta just pry it out of
Probably missed the
This is Thomas in the tank.
Thomas in the tank.
him.
What in the world?
Okay,
So number 3.
my number 3, I'm excited about
Oh, do tell.
because it'll let you know specifically. Because I don't know if John will think about what my second one is. Everyone knows what my first one is.
Okay.
I don't think John will know what my second one is based off what I say about this third
I
one.
don't know your first. I don't know what it is.
My first one?
No.
Oh, well. All right.
I might.
Cool. So my third one is the second most recent film as far as sequel goes
Mhm.
on my top 5.
That narrows it down.
A little bit. There hasn't been that many sequels in the 2010s. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
True.
So now I'm stepping into the superhero category.
Okay.
It is none other than what once was the greatest MCU film of all time until
Endgame.
Endgame and Infinity War.
Is that your take now?
I'm talking. Yes.
Oh,
I
wow.
think
that's
Infinity
phenomenal.
War is better than.
You think Infinity
No,
War?
no.
You think Infinity War is better than
Better than
blank,
Captain America: The Winter Soldier,
which is your third entry?
which is my third entry. Wow, I got confused for a second. Yeah, I used to think Winter Soldier was the best MCU film. Still liked it more than Infinity War. Then when Endgame came out, I liked Endgame, Winter Soldier, Infinity War, and then we watched it for something. We just watched all of them, and I realized that I do like Infinity War more than Winter Soldier.
I'm essentially right there with you, though. Almost
It's
the
tough.
exact
It's
same
like,
thing.
It is absolutely
Mhm.
infinitely close.
Yeah.
The
Russos knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. they did.
Absolutely.
So, having said that, yeah, number 3 is The Winter Soldier. I think that is one of the best MCU films to date.
Oh, it is.
Nothing
It's what
that
it's a
ever
standout.
gets released from now till ever is ever going to top that one, much less Infinity War and Endgame.
No, no, it's done. You can't hit that again.
Like, the character of Captain America and Bucky is explored to their max
Mm-hmm.
from the entirety of the MCU in just that one film.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the way they focus on just him and his relationship with Bucky.
Oh, it's a Captain America movie.
That is a Captain
Absolutely.
America movie. Like,
Yeah.
and the same thing with first Avenger, but Winter Soldier takes to a whole nother level.
Yes, it does.
And that's the Russo brothers.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That was their
They
first.
took what was built
first film.
was laid as a foundation, and truly,
Yeah.
built on it.
And I remember telling people that Winter Soldier was better than Avengers, and people said I was completely wrong for that.
Everyone agrees with you now.
Yeah, and now I'm like, go back then, see
Yeah.
what you said to me, because like and that was honestly my bias towards recency bias, which I do
Mhm.
have sometimes, but like I genuinely thought that was true. And looking back now, everyone thinks the same thing. Like Avengers is always, I mean, maybe some stupid people would put Avengers above Winter Soldier, but like Winter Soldier is definitively a better movie than Avengers.
People are gonna think I'm weird, but when it comes to but in general, but for this take, because people will say like, even most fans will say, "What do you mean they're all? This one's great. This one's great." But the way I feel about the majority of the MCU is awful. Never watching again.
Mm-hmm.
There's a group of those.
A lot of them.
Tolerable and can watch if I'm doing a watch through. Really, just great superhero movie.
Mm-hmm.
Or very good superhero movie.
Yeah.
Um,
And then like phenomenal.
phenomenal. The reason it's a success.
Yeah.
The thing that makes it stand out.
Mhm.
There's 6 of them. That is my own take, is that there's six movies that Marvel made, MCU, that stood out and made it the series that it is.
Mhm.
And then there's a bunch of really good films to complement around it. And then there's a lot of awful films.
Yeah.
In that original run from Iron Man
Right.
to Endgame.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then, yeah, they made 6 that just knocked out of the park and solidified. I mean, 6 is a lot.
Oh, I know all of them.
You do know all of them.
I think so. I could try and guess.
Yeah, do it.
Iron Man.
Yep.
Endgame.
Yep.
Infinity War.
Yep.
Winter Soldier.
Yep.
Guardians.
Yep.
You said till Endgame. I don't know. I mean,
I love Guardians 3, and I love
I feel like you could either put Homecoming in there
Homecoming's great.
or Thor Ragnarok.
No, you're missing one. I'll just tell you,
Okay.
Civil War.
Nice.
I mean, come on, Civil War, man.
Yeah,
It's iconic
completely
now.
forgot about that one.
No, those are the movies that I'm talking, like, majority of the MCU movies aren't going up there with, you know, your Batman Begins, your Dark Knight, your Superman the movie, Spider-Man 2. Those 6
Have the
fit
best-
comfortably among those.
Yeah, yeah.
Iron Man, the 2 Cap movies, and then basically
Two Avengers movies.
the 2 Avengers movies, the 2 last ones, 2 of the most perfect comic book movies ever made. Feels like it just
and then
long,
the
epic.
greatest movie with unknown characters.
Yeah, the greatest kind of oddball superhero movie.
Yeah.
Guardians being not oddball characters, but oddball in the sense of,
They're just not well known at all.
yeah, like
That's
the
the
one,
point.
the underdog,
Yeah.
the one that you wouldn't think would be a success and then turned into this cultural icon.
Mm-hmm.
Like Guardians is phenomenal. But
I feel like I know Star-Lord just as much as Cap.
yeah, and you know, First Avenger I love,
Mhm.
but the thing about Winter Soldier,
So much better.
no, it's just, I mean, you know, Cap has such an incredible arc that I don't think is always appreciated.
No.
But obviously the thing that sells Winter Soldier for me is Cap's entire emotion. I mean, just everything, the small details they put into that film, the records he has playing, him adjusting to this new life,
Mhm.
the overall like ambiance it has as a film with the spy thriller
Yep.
type nature. And but again, it's the pinnacle moment in Cap's arc, the elevator scene. It's one of the best scenes of the MCU.
Hell.
It really is, because you know, him learning that this is, and before that he has the conversation with Nick Fury
Mhm.
basically about realizing that things are changing, and then he talks to him and he's grabbing the shield because he knows that he's no longer in the world that he was in,
That's the first film where he has to do something wrong
where he has to do something wrong.
to get the job done correctly.
He has to trust in himself.
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
the system is just corrupt.
Hmm.
Oh.
And he's a man out of time and he feels it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the iconic line of,
That's the one that
Before we get
the
out.
MCU to be the up to Endgame MCU to be legendary.
Yeah.
Because the Russos referenced a lot of stuff from Endgame from Winter Soldier.
Mhm.
The only thing they referenced from the first one was "I can do this all day." Everything else.
oh
was
no. First Avenger?
Yeah.
First Avenger, I mean, that's with Cap and Peggy, that's the pinnacle of his whole story.
Yeah, Cap and Peggy. I forgot about that. Cap and Peggy and I can
And the
do this all
dance.
day.
Spoilers for any
Yeah, but in Winter Soldier, you see the Russo's interpretation because no, Civil War, where you see the sequence with him and Peggy, where she's about to die.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was their way of like ending off until you get to Endgame, and then they
Yeah.
revisit it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's done in that more Russo brothers style
Yeah.
rather than I don't know who directed First Avenger, but
First Avengers,
Joe Johnson.
yeah, well, he did The Rocketeer, right?
Mm-hmm. And Jurassic Park.
and it feels like the
Watch.
Rocketeer.
J33.
Yeah.
Hey, he's a pretty good director.
Yeah, he is.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, I personally,
I feel like we gotta get back to sequels because John's dying.
we do. No, it's a late one tonight.
It is, but we're vibing right now.
We are. Captain America. So anyway, Captain America Winter Soldier is my third pick,
My third pick.
and my third pick.
Oh wow.
Didn't even announce that, just rolled into it.
Oh wow.
Worked out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yes, I do like it more than First Avenger.
Yes.
Fourth favorite Marvel movie.
I don't know how you feel, but I like it more than Civil War. It's my favorite Cap.
You know,
in the Cap trilogy.
I really bounce back and forth between Civil War and Winter Soldier. Every time I write out my MCU list, those two will be exchanged. As of right now, I think Winter Soldier, just because of the fact that, you know, Iron Man has 1 minute less screen time than Cap in Civil War.
Yeah. Doesn't it feels like an Avengers 2.5.
Feels like an Avengers 2.5.
Yeah.
And while yes, where Cap does feel like the main character, Iron Man is just riding his tail so hard, while as Winter Soldier, it's a Cap. And it feels like it, again, with the definitive thing, but it feels like the most, like that's the movie you're putting on for Captain America. So there we go. All right, John, question for you. What is your second favorite sequel film for this video?
There is only 2, 3 that I could think of that you might potentially say,
Maybe.
and any of them are phenomenal picks.
I'm hoping that I know it.
Let's hope. All right, so my number 2 pick for the top sequels is a film that just again elevates the original and is one of the most important ones that were released way back. And it is just phenomenal. It expands the lore and is just overall a great movie and has one of the best twists ever
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely.
I am talking about The Empire Strikes Back.
There we go.
Man, I thought he was talking about Johnny English too.
the
Wow, that's awesome. No,
squeakquel album.
No, it's, I mean, what's more to say about The Empire Strikes Back? It's
Yeah.
just amazing. It's literally the best Star Wars movie ever made.
Mhm.
Will never be topped.
No.
There's some that have come close, but will never be topped. It is just amazing story, the characters, expand the characters. Boy, does the Empire strike back in this film, and it's just wow.
Absolutely.
And the twist with Vader and Luke. Spoilers, but it is just phenomenal.
Yo, I mean, I was spoiled for that before I had seen any of the Star Wars movies.
Yeah, everyone just says like, "Oh, and Vader's the father," and you're like, "What does that mean?"
Yeah,
Mhm.
and
Thanks for just saying that.
I was still shocked when I saw it,
Absolutely.
even though I knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
So that says volumes.
Well, you know, Alyssa didn't even know that at all before we watched Empire.
Yeah,
Man, that's
awesome.
like prime.
Reaction.
That's
Yeah.
a rarity. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yep. And it just shows that while it's maybe one of the most famous lines of all time, that it shows when you are in that nerd world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't know that, and you're just watching these movies. It's done well.
Absolutely. So, Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Gosh, it's absolute top tier tick.
Yeah.
Tick, not pick.
Stick.
Stick.
What is yours, Justin?
So we are on our number 2, correct?
Mhm. Correct.
He said Empire Strikes Back.
Yes.
I echo that.
You echo that?
The Empire Strikes Back is my number 2 pick.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, I didn't.
Holy
even-
crap. Great.
I didn't expect that.
Great
Okay,
choice.
cool.
Have I elevated on the friend level now?
Yeah, absolutely. That's incredible. Empire
Nice.
Strikes Back's your number 2.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Take it. You heard it here first.
Oh my gosh,
You
man.
heard it. You heard it. You
Lot-
heard it here first, folks.
A lot of history with Justin and getting him to watch Star Wars and him not liking Star Wars and then slowly liking Star Wars and now
The
loving Empire.
Yes, my second favorite sequel of all time.
Wow.
I'll say, yeah, my favorite Star Wars film ever made.
My favorite Star Wars film ever made as well.
I mean, it was, for a long time, it was Revenge.
Yeah.
And Revenge is still great, but I think Empire is just a better made film.
This
It
was
is.
hard. This was hard for me to not put it number 1,
Mm-hmm.
but something else beat it.
Yeah.
But it's
very-
hard. But
Mhm.
right now, number 2 for me is Empire Strikes Back.
And number 2 for you is Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah,
and number
I
2
mean-
for me is Empire Strikes Back.
Whoa. Okay, I did not know that. I should
There we
have
go.
known that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep.
No, okay, so let's just talk about Empire Strikes Back.
We've pretty
because
much, yeah.
It is. So, I mean, I'm guessing I've seen it about 5 times.
I think.
I know we've watched the Star Wars movies as a whole probably at least 2 or 3 times, and I've seen it once on my own. It is such a great film.
It's such an amazing film.
Like
everything it does is just incredible.
Gosh, and it sounds weird, but I appreciate the fact that every time I watch it, I don't remember everything that happens, which is not a diss to the film. It's just my memory, but like that just makes it even better each time.
Yeah. You know, I think it is a movie that does get better every time you watch it.
Yeah, it does for me. For me, it does.
That's the movie that made me love Han Solo.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And that made me consider him my favorite Star Wars character over Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That's hard, but yeah.
No,
I mean, I like Obi-Wan more, but then it's Han.
Yeah, that's how I used to be until the last time we rewatched all the Star Wars films. I put Han above.
That was a great time too.
Yeah,
that was like we watched them all and it was crazy. We were dead after, but it was so worth it.
Was that all for Rise? Did we watch them all for Rise?
I think it was.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Which was great.
And the problem is when you watch the originals, you don't want to watch the sequels at all.
Nope,
you don't.
Regardless of the fact that we all mostly can agree that Last Jedi is the best out of the sequels, none of them hold up to the originals.
No,
and even for the most part to the prequels.
Absolutely, I'll die on that hill.
Yeah,
it's Empire, Revenge for me. Those are the top 2.
Empire, and that's to say, we all said Empire is our favorite one. So obviously, but it's Empire, Star Wars, Revenge.
Same here.
Which is still Empire, because mine is Empire, Revenge, Star Wars.
It's Empire.
Oh, Star Wars is your third favorite now?
Yep.
Wow.
We're getting some unanimous, like very like-minded decisions.
Well, you know
here.
why? It's because we watched. I think it's because we also what really turned the tide for him for his appreciation for the original Star Wars is because when we showed him the original cut on VHS.
Yeah, I'm so glad you guys showed me.
And he was like, "Holy crap! This is faster paced. It feels good. What happened?" I'm like,
crazy.
That and also the live concert. That was
with them for Empire.
That was Empire, but being Empire at that time, as I've mentioned before, I did not like older films as much, and I was like, "Wow, this was such a big cultural phenomenon."
Yeah,
and I just wasn't born to, live that.
What's great is that
to live that.
If that happened when I was like in my teens, this would be my favorite film of all time.
Okay, so you can't obviously put Empire and Batman 1989 in the same category, obviously, but there's also another in concert Batman 1989 showing that's going to happen.
Yep.
I hope that watching it then for him would show me more, where he would show more appreciation towards 1989.
And I love 89 now.
Yep.
Yes, but like even
it's
more
just
now.
Right now, going off on another tangent, I would probably put the Dark Knight trilogy over 89 and the Batman over 89.
Yeah,
I get
then,
that.
Yeah, I get
after that is 89.
Yeah, I think 89 is amazing, but I think the power of nostalgia as well will never it's gonna be really hard for a Batman movie to beat out 89 for me out of new ones coming out.
Yeah,
because even if I can say like maybe it's objectively better, I know in personal favorite,
no, it's hard.
Taking that spot for 89 is almost
no, absolutely.
There's a lot of movies I've seen as a kid that I would still defend to this day, even though I know deep down in my heart that they're just not that good.
Yeah, I get that.
Which, not saying 89 is not good, but you know what I'm saying. You'll defend the stuff you watched growing up more than very new stuff you just seen for the first time.
Yeah, I would agree. But overall, we got to try to make sure we go to see that in concert.
We will.
Just have the music playing live while doing it. It was amazing. For Empire,
Michael Keaton,
imagine when that one,
and Jack Nicholson like delivering their lines while there's live orchestration. Oh, I love
also imagine when we're getting ready, and then all of a sudden it gets dark, and then the Warner Brothers logo comes on, and you hear the band start going, but an actual live.
Oh, good! I can't wait for that.
Live, that's gonna be crazy, and then dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Oh, I gotta
It's
I can't wait.
freaking Danny Elfman.
Yeah,
bro,
he's gonna be there.
He's one of the most.
Wait, what?
He's the one conducting it.
He is.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Oh, you got me. Wow.
No, but
That
still,
would make
I
it better.
guarantee you they're gonna do him justice.
That's, yeah, absolutely.
Because that Empire Strikes Back one.
Oh,
they-
they did John
they
Lennon
were-
justice easily.
They did the whole score on beat.
They did
They
the
did.
whole
That's
score
a lot. That's hard.
while the movie is playing.
Mhm.
Like, keep in mind, like we went to this thinking it was just gonna be
Just
the
music.
orchestra
Mhm.
playing,
And we actually
and we got to watch
we
the
all
movie.
thought it was. We all thought it was. And then the screen comes up. We're like,
Yo,
so we're watching
dude,
Empire.
Yeah.
we got double our money's worth for that show.
We did.
Didn't I get the tickets for free?
I don't know. I mean, maybe you did, but even if you didn't,
Yeah.
we got way more worth than what we paid for.
I think I got the tickets for free.
If you did, that's awesome. Can you do it for the Batman 89?
I can actually see, yeah.
Oh,
Gosh, because I want to go see. I love appreciating scores because,
yes.
as
I-
I'll always
same.
say, scores make up half of a film, regardless of what anyone thinks.
Absolutely no. I think that's why we have to. We appreciate film scores so much.
Yeah.
And 1989, Batman 1989 score by Danny Elfman is literally one of the best scores ever. So
Yeah,
we gotta watch. We gotta watch.
Freaking Batman Returns, bro.
Oh, I know.
The Birth of the Penguin Part 1, Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
That is Batman's theme, but it's titled The Birth of the Penguin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, it's great.
That says volumes as to
Mhm.
what the film displays.
Yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure.
Like, and I used to love Returns more than 89, but now I think I've mildly switched. But
Yeah.
they're both absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, in recent watches, I love Returns, but it's gone down quite a bit for me.
I could see that.
Especially
I-
last time we watched
Yeah,
it.
you and I watched it before. Yeah, I mean, we ate up 1989. That was such a great time. And then we did Returns.
Yeah,
And it was, I still enjoyed it, but it was like,
It's
you
just-
feel a
it's very-
quality difference
Yeah, it's very
yeah,
different.
a little bit.
yeah. I
Which-
still love Returns though, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
It's
There's a lot to love about it.
I
I
think
It's not enough
great.
Batman.
I think
No.
well, I think 89 and Returns are for a different audience,
They are.
which is fine.
I think
Because
Returns
if you think about it, you said it's not about Batman.
at all.
Yeah. Very many people think The Dark Knight is a Joker film, which I think is kind of stupid.
I do too.
But at
I
the
think
same time, I understand because the Joker does outshine Batman in The Dark Knight.
There is outshining, but at least with the Dark Knight, you do have still a Batman story.
You do.
With-
It's
with-
definitely better handled than
Yeah.
Returns, but
Correct.
I mean, your protagonist is still, everyone says that, but then when you watch The Dark Knight, your protagonist is Bruce Wayne.
I feel like
Absolutely.
I feel like it's because Bruce and Batman are viewed as two different entities,
Right.
which is fine, but like they're the same person.
Yeah.
So like when you add that up, it's what 66% versus 33% Joker, maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, Bruce is in the most.
Yeah.
Which is
But he's not in
Amazing.
the most for
Returns.
Batman Returns. There's no
Mhm.
way that there's no way Michael Keaton has the most screen time. It's got to be
It's-
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Absolutely.
It's probably the names. Well, DeVito's name, and then Michelle Pfeiffer being the introduced Catwoman. They got to show her screen time, which
Mhm.
is great as Catwoman. They have to develop that character because
Yeah.
they haven't shown her. And at that time, if I'm not mistaken, that's her second main introduction for the popular audience.
What, behind 66?
Mhm.
I mean, really, everybody's.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, is that-
Everybody in the Rogues
Well,
Gallery.
that was 92. When was the animated series released?
92.
Same year?
Same time. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Man,
Be-
that's great.
Mm-hmm.
it came out. So they started developing it in like 90, 89. Pretty much right after 89 came out, it started going in development. And then 91 was it where the screen test the Dark Knight's first night?
I believe so. Yes.
Maybe 90.
Mhm.
Could have been 1990.
Yep.
So technically I would say animated series precedes it does precede Returns, at least in development too, because originally they were gonna make Catwoman look more comic accurate.
Yeah.
And they're gonna give her the black hair,
Mm-hmm.
but then they had to change it to match
Accommodate.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which I appreciate. I mean, I
Mhm.
think she did
Yeah.
a great job.
Yeah.
I don't think any Catwoman besides the one that I haven't seen, which is Halle Berry, has done bad.
No, I
Not
agree.
even
No,
Adam
definitely.
West's
Yeah, no, she's fine.
like the Batman, even Anne Hathaway, I think they've all been great interpretations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've given
Absolutely.
us different aspects, and I like all of
Yeah.
No.
them.
Awesome. And with that,
Whose pick was that?
That was all three of
all
ours.
three of ours.
That was the Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back.
Empire, bro.
Yeah.
That was
That's
all
awesome.
three of ours?
Yeah, Empire Strikes Back was
Yep.
number 2. We're back on track.
Wow.
So we just need to hit it with a few
Oh, honorable mentions.
honorable mentions.
Don't look.
I'm not looking.
You got him?
Maybe.
All right.
Probably.
You want me now name off mine really quick, and then we'll bounce around to John?
Who went last?
Well, I did. But John, I don't know if you want to think of yours really quick.
Do you want to do yours?
Yeah, I think I can come up with some.
Okay.
I think I got some.
You good?
Yeah.
What are they?
Okay. Honorable mentions for sequels is I would say, let's see. Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chest.
Absolutely.
Underrated sequel in my opinion.
That's a really good one.
Aliens
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
for sure. Predator 2. In a weird way, Predator 2.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy Predator 2.
We haven't seen that one.
Yeah, Predator 2 is great. It's not as good as the original, but
Danny Glover.
it elevates.
Right.
I think it's cool. I think it's awesome. It's underrated.
Yeah.
Is Predators the direct sequel to Predator? Like, did
Yes.
they retcon Predator 2? Was you?
They didn't really retcon it, but they just mentioned Predator instead.
It's like Halloween 2018 and
Pretty
Part
much.
2.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which one's better?
Well, actually though, they for the Halloween franchise, they completely retcon like everything besides the original.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, they don't. In Predators, they don't really mention Predator 2. It's not really retconned or anything like that. But they just mentioned the first one.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I think those are just a couple ones that I can mention.
Mm-hmm.
Matrix Reloaded, I don't think is actually as bad as people are saying. I think Matrix Reloaded is actually pretty good.
I haven't seen it, but I'm glad someone is finally giving appreciation to
Yeah,
the sequel.
I think
I've heard a lot of late,
I know,
garbage about them.
I don't think they're as bad as people are saying. They're not as good as the first, but I still really enjoy them.
Mm-hmm.
What
X2
about,
for sure for me.
Yeah.
I'll mention too. So
What about Simba's Pride?
Lion King 2 Simba's Pride, I don't think is as bad as people are, I think it's a great sequel. There are obviously some things here and there, but I think it's not bad.
Yeah.
I love Lion King 2.
I'll
did you?
watch it.
The first one is God tier, but
Yeah.
second one I don't
One
mind.
is one of the best films
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
ever made.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I cannot wait till we do our top 10 films of all time episode, which will probably come out in 30 years.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because it's ever changing,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's locked in.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are some of my honorable mentions.
Those are all freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I go?
Yeah.
All right. So I got 5 honorable mentions. There is obviously a lot of sequels I want to mention. Some of them have already been mentioned by John.
Mm-hmm.
First one I want to mention at my not rated but lowest end of the honorable mention spectrum is Shrek 2.
Hey.
Absolutely.
I think that film is better than Shrek.
Yes.
Oh.
No, I disagree.
I
I disagree.
I've only seen it once.
I love
of them.
Shrek 2.
Both of them once. I just laughed more in Shrek 2.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
for me, laughing in a film is a huge bonus because I don't typically do that.
Mm-hmm.
I like more serious stuff, but Shrek 2 just had me rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And we
That's
watched
very
both of
fun.
them together, and I
Yeah.
love Shrek. But Shrek 2 just had something different about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I agree. So
So,
damn, it's
I
like
get
Shrek
that.
2. So what else you got?
Yeah, Shrek 2 is my lowest pick of honorable
I
mentions.
know. That's why I'm like, whoa, what the fuck?
Number 2 is actually Halloween 2018.
Wow.
The retconned Halloween 2, H2O. Halloween 2018 is like the newest version of a direct sequel to Halloween.
The newest version of.
Yeah.
That movie is great.
Yeah.
That is one of those what I consider legacy sequels
Mhm.
that takes what the original did and runs with it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And I love slashers films.
Yeah.
I love Michael Myers. I love dark stuff. That film delivered exactly what I love.
Mm-hmm.
And I've rewatched it probably about 5-6 times.
Mhm.
Every time it gets better.
Wow, that many times already.
Directed by what? One or two comedy, mainly
Written
comedy,
by Danny McBride, right?
written by mainly comedy writers,
Gordon Green.
which is great because
Mhm.
usually the people who are the funniest can usually be the darkest at the same time,
Absolutely.
which is great. My number 3 honorable mentions X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Nice.
What does that mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Are you doing direct sequels?
Yeah, like that's a new trilogy. Like you got First Class, Days of Future Past, and Apocalypse.
Is Days of Future Past really a direct sequel to First Class though? Or is
No,
it
but
kind of its own thing?
If you don't consider it that, it's a direct sequel to First Class.
Kind of. I think, if anything, the First Class.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not. No, you're not wrong because they kind of were making that, but I think that trilogy might work out better as First Class, Apocalypse, Dark Phoenix, and Days of Future Past. I think serves more as a
twequel.
kind of as like a collective X-Men film.
I would
It's
say a
almost
legacy sequel.
a legacy
like
sequel to
one
X-Men.
of those films that can be called legacy sequel. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's bringing back the old cast with the new cast.
Yeah.
If that's a legacy sequel, that makes it even better. I mean, if I need to switch it, I can easily switch.
I would switch it because I don't have it represented,
Okay,
and that would
Okay.
make me feel like shit.
that's fine. That's fine. So I got 2 other options for number 3. I am going to go with Rocky 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
man,
I think that
Good
film gets
Great choice.
heavily, what's the word? Like heavily
shadowed.
shadowed by
Overshadowed.
Rocky
Yeah.
and like, any of the other films that people like more,
It's
like
great.
specifically Rocky. Rocky 2 continues exactly where Rocky left off,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
which is something that you don't see done well nowadays or ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Rocky 2, so I'm glad you made me switch that out.
Mm-hmm.
Man, great choice.
I mean, Rocky 1 and Rocky 2, if you smack those together, that's a 3.5-hour phenomenal film.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
what it is. It's just they didn't have the budget to complete Rocky 2 when they were doing Rocky.
Don't want to spoil it, but I mean, I wouldn't want it that way because the just the beautiful story that
Oh,
is
yeah.
Rocky 1.
Rocky
Yes.
is absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Yeah.
one of the
Best movies ever made.
best movies ever made.
Yeah, easily.
So I'll try and go to my next 2 quick. Number 2, honorable mention, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Absolutely amazing film.
Mm-hmm.
Still love the first one more, but it's like.
Hmm.
And then number 1 is Spider-Man 2.
Very
Nice.
nice.
I remember the last time we watched it, I had said Spider-Man 2 is one of the best superhero movies ever made. So
Mm-hmm.
Well, awesome.
that is why.
All right, my honorable mentions are Attack of the Clones.
Sorry.
Wow.
I love that.
Oh yeah,
I love that you said
Yeah,
that.
Attack of the Clones is miles, infinity, and beyond better than Phantom Menace.
yes.
Yeah.
Attack of the Clones, Shrek 2,
Yes.
Pirates 2,
Nice.
Superman 2,
Nice.
and Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Bro, I'm so glad you said
Oh
that.
my freaking goodness.
Not that I've seen it.
This dude literally had to do that.
I love the fact that you put a
That's
recent
amazing.
movie in
Yeah.
because there have been some great recent sequels.
Oh yeah. And
And
Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is one of them.
I gave you crap for Sonic 1,
Mm-hmm.
but when you said you love Sonic 2, I was like, man, maybe this series is actually good. If I knew the character as well as you did, maybe I would actually love it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
It. I've said it quite, I think once or twice on this channel, but it's really nice to have a character that you've loved since childhood finally be adapted and like adapted adapted into a film
mhm.
and it be done how you would have wanted it to be done.
I mean,
Right.
yeah, no, you got Sonic.
I love that. This is great.
Sonic.
This is, I mean, aside from like filmmakers, this is probably my favorite extravaganza portion we've done.
Yeah.
But Sonic,
Tails.
what I seem to hear is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like the recent film.
Oh, yeah.
Great. And then also
Super Mario Brothers.
Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
And there was one more that I just forgot. But
Spider-Man.
no, the Batman. I know you on your
No,
most recent watch you didn't like it as much, but I think you still appreciate what they did.
Yeah, no, I'm shifting views on it quite a bit.
And
It's a movie that had to sit with me a little.
It is that film. I mean, anything that's longer than 3 hours or approaching 3 hours is gonna have that effect on anyone.
Yeah.
Like, regardless if I love The Shining, every time I rewatch it, I question the fact whether it's good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sad because it's my second favorite film of all time. But
Yeah.
I do question myself.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I watch it, I'm like, nope, this is the second best film ever made.
Yeah. It is too. It's perfect.
But like, that's cool that in the past 2-3 years, you've had 3 characters or teams that have been represented extremely well.
Yeah.
That gives us hope.
Absolutely.
Obi-Wan.
You're my only hope.
Amen.
Going into our favorite choice
Now we have number
Hey,
for
hey,
sequels,
Oh, we did our own mentions. Yeah. Wow.
John
Nope.
Thomas.
number 1.
What do we got?
Sequels. I know what it's going to be.
I know what he's going to be.
Can I take a guess? No, I don't want to spoil it.
No, it's a film. This film elevates the original, even though it didn't need to, because the original is amazing.
Yep.
But it's still just phenomenal, and it's really what every action film should really look at. That is Terminator 2: Judgment Day.
There it is.
I love the original. I love the Terminator. I think the original is better. But this is a great sequel. This is how you do a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
It's bigger, and it just elevates the original. Extra, more mythology. The characters are developed even further. Sarah Connor is amazing. One of the best, if not the best, female protagonist ever.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree.
Yeah, and James Cameron's amazing direction, the special effects, the practical effects, CGI, just ahead of its time, everything. Like this movie is phenomenal. And it'll make any grown man cry at the end. It's so good.
The T-1000.
T-1000, yeah.
Gosh, that is one of the best villains.
One of the best special effects ever put on.
And honestly, best acting. I mean, that's Danny, but just like those film facts that no one knows, the general consensus.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure he like practiced or learned exactly how to not blink when he was getting shot at or something.
Mm-hmm.
Arnold.
That is insane. No, the T-1000.
Oh.
Or to also, the other one was when you're running, you typically you show that you're exerting energy.
Mm-hmm.
He practiced and perfected the fact that he can run fast without having to show that he was exerting any energy because he was a machine.
That's incredible.
He was a robot.
Yeah.
That is
That's great.
And it's just how you accomplish that.
Yeah, and it's just iconic. Hasta la vista, baby. Everything. It's just so damn good, and Arnold's great in it.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite films of all time, next to the original.
Yeah.
So, the Terminator
Bro,
and
that
Terminator 2.
That is
Judgment Day.
one of the most badass titles
Yeah,
ever.
T2
Yeah.
is just so good. T2. But that's my number 1.
Well, fantastic. Gotta be a top 5er then for him.
Easily.
I know. I was gonna,
Because Empire's in his top 5. Last time we talked about it.
Yeah.
We'll see though.
Empire, T2, JP.
T1.
What else? T1.
Yeah.
Maybe the Dark.
No, it would be Batman Begins or Mask of the Phantasm.
We're giving Mask the Phantasm. We're giving spoiler. I can't wait to do that. By the way, that's gonna be so much fun.
Absolutely.
End of the year.
End of the year.
Oh, end of the year with that,
Mm-hmm.
and then as a year of podcasting and 2023 Oscars Cinema 3D stuff.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that'll be nice.
Anyway, so
Your
we're on number 1.
Favorite sequel of all time, Joseph?
My favorite sequel of all time. It's so obvious for me.
Yeah, I know.
I mean-
I know yours now. Yeah,
Yeah, like Batman is my favorite character.
actually.
It is obviously
Mm-hmm.
Batman Returns.
That's me.
Wow.
That is a great film, but no, it is
Yeah.
The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
He gave everybody a heart attack.
I mean, I
wish
I
you
would
stuck
be
with it.
fine if someone said Batman Returns was
No,
my favorite sequel of all time.
That's fine.
I mean, that is a great
There's
movie.
no discrimination.
But The Dark Knight, the last time we watched it, man, something changed in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I finally realized, I've said this so many times, but I finally realized that I was watching the characters from the comics.
Yeah.
I wasn't watching actors portraying them.
No,
I was watching actors embodying the characters that were given to them.
I agree
Like
100%.
Joker, the best live action iteration of the Joker we've ever seen. The most legendary iteration of the Joker live action we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And Christian Bale, man.
And Christian Bale.
I mean, I love Batman Begins.
My favorite live bat.
Nice.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough for me because I like a lot of them,
Yeah, you do.
Mhm.
and I'm glad that I like a lot of them.
Yeah, it is hard being just when you know Christian Bale's the best.
Yeah,
It's hard.
I like a lot of them for different reasons. But
Well, you know, he's
Christian
the best.
Bale, he's one of those actors
Oh, he's one of the greatest
that
of all time.
morphs into the character
Mhm.
he's playing, which I love. You know, any movie he's in, he method acts.
Yep.
And yeah, and Christopher Nolan, my favorite director.
Yeah.
Christian Bale, one of my top 5 favorite actors. Batman,
Same.
my number 1 favorite character.
Yeah.
Joker, my second favorite villain.
Wow. I don't let. I said it.
You what?
I said it. I
What?
got it right.
What do you?
I said behind home.
Nope. Nope.
Behind Homelander.
Completely wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
I don't even know if he's in my top 5.
Top 5 favorite villains of all time?
Yeah.
Homelander isn't?
He'd be number 6.
He was in your top 5 most influential.
Impactful. He left an impact,
Oh my gosh.
but not my favorite.
For villain?
Yeah.
Okay.
My favorite is Reverse Flash.
Of all time.
Yep.
Reverse Flash.
Always will be Reverse.
If you watch the Flash TV show, you'll know.
Is that why though? Is it the show?
The show and Flashpoint Paradox.
that too.
Like I am scared to read the comics
Mm-hmm.
because of how much more I would love these characters.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I would go full on nerd right then.
Wow.
But yeah, Dark Knight.
There you go.
The literally top 3 greatest films ever made. I mean, it speaks for itself. You
My
watch
favorite
it-
film ever made.
Yeah, like I mean, I could say it's my favorite film ever made.
Yeah.
I just have a couple above it because I'm pretentious like that.
Right.
You know, I don't want to say, "Hey, The Dark Knight was my favorite film ever made."
Yeah.
You understood what I said, but no one else will.
Absolutely.
Nobody.
But like, honestly, like The Dark Knight is The Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm.
The title is phenomenal. Finally, a Batman film where we don't get Batman in the title.
The Dark Knight. Yeah.
The Dark Knight.
That's amazing.
Like
Batman,
it's
The
a
Dark
small aspect, but I love that. Like I would
Mhm.
love. That's why I want the Cape Crusader to come out because I love that title for Batman. Cape
Mhm.
Crusader. I love the Gotham Knight. I love
Yep.
the anime show. I love. Obviously, Batman's great, but
Mhm.
like the Dark Knight. That is what he is. He is a dark, brooding character, and he
Mm-hmm.
thrives in the nighttime, and
And
he
he
is
is
a
the
night
knight to the
protector of the Gotham City.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Those 3 words describe him perfectly. So
And ditto.
I'm getting way too pretentious with this, but
Mm.
you know, you agree with me,
Yeah, I agree with you.
and I know
Yeah.
John agrees with us some little. He does. I mean, I agree with some of his 2 picks too. Like,
Yeah.
all of these picks are great.
Mhm.
And Dark Knight is my favorite sequel of all time.
Look at that.
Favorite movie of all time. I'm going to echo everything you said, except
Finally, he officially said it
I'm saying it with my chest now.
because on the 80s decade episode, he said The Dark Knight it might be my favorite film of all time. Now he says
Dark Knight's my favorite film of all time.
yes. That's great to hear. Sam has grown up,
That's right. So with that,
and I have too.
Joker's my favorite villain though of all time,
Nice.
No, yeah, no, yeah.
and Batman hero.
I
Yeah.
know I should have Joker as my favorite villain,
Yeah.
but
Well, no, not necessarily.
you know me.
Yeah.
Reverse Flash,
I mean, Vader's up there for me as well.
and then Joker, and then Vader.
So with all that being said, we are concluding our sequel thing we did,
Yep.
whatever this was, where we went around in a
Probably.
triangle and
Yeah, probably the best one we've done yet
Yeah.
in this series.
Absolutely.
yeah, absolutely.
I'm
Speaking,
excited.
speaking of sequels,
hmm
don't forget to follow up with us
Oh yeah.
on the last part of our 5-part series of this top 5 extravaganza. Don't forget.
Tune in.
Don't forget to tune in for that. We're going to be talking about some good stuff. I don't remember which one it is, but we're going to talk about it.
Underrated.
You said
Underrated.
underrated.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about films that either people hate on too much
Or
don't get talked about enough.
Absolutely.
And they go hand in hand.
or
Sonic 1.
or just a film that
That killed him inside.
not necessarily doesn't get talked about or like whatever, but doesn't get even as much credit as it deserves.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like there is
There's a plethora.
there are so
There is.
many films that you've shown us
Mm-hmm.
and that you've mentioned and that I've seen. That
Holy
like
shit.
yeah. I had to include all of us,
That
but
you've
like
told us, that you've shown us, that I've seen.
covers all facets that like people.
Man.
And granted, you know, this is Cinema 3D. We're the best at this job.
Right.
We're not saying this like we believe what we say, you know,
Mhm.
like we fully wholeheartedly agree with what we're saying.
Absolutely.
That's why we're passionate about film. We love film. We love
That's why we
TV
do
film.
this.
So like when we say these films are underrated, that's our personal opinion and sometimes our objective opinion between the three of us.
Yeah.
So I cannot wait to talk about the underrated films because I just want people to see these movies that I'm going to say.
Yeah,
And the ones that
absolutely.
you're going to say because they're so good
Mhm.
and they need to get more love.
Well, that's a good.
Give them love.
That's a good little teaser.
Yeah.
That's a good teaser as to what the next episode is going to be.
Stay tuned.